And good morning, everybody. I'm TekMuNNee, as you know. And the first screenshot I just wanted to show you, just a welcoming shot there. That's where I sit every day. That's my desk. Um, First of all, I just want to let you know there's two key things to this. There's no right or wrong way to do anything from what we go over. And the number one rule of this meeting and moving forward is you got to stay pumped. You have to stay pumped. Good spirits is key, and it's going to get you to success through this. And just to show you, we're going to get through this quick PowerPoint and we'll do some live stuff, but I wanted to show you my setup because that's my main screen. It's a 49-inch curved screen. That doesn't mean you need one. And then to the right, I have a little screen there, and that's where I keep you guys in the chat room, and a couple websites will be running. Far right, I always keep Bloomberg on. That's my little baby. And we're going to get started. And remember, I said the rule number one, you got to get pumped every morning. A lot of people ask me, like, what's your morning ritual? I got to get pumped. If I'm not pumped, and this is through experience too, it's not talk. I've lost money even when I'm not pumped because I'm just not focused. And I've summed it all down. Being with BlackBox in a year and a half, I started here as a member in June of 2017. And the number one rule that I've taken over, that's even in the last 2 weeks that have kept my swing accounts just growing, is just staying pumped. So I just had to put in a picture of someone there at a concert and a mosh pit, and that's who we are. Every morning we log on as athletes, stars, ballet performers, or what have you. You do this for your kids and your family, and if you're not in the right mind state, at some point you're going to deteriorate. So that's just my number one thing to get this started. And now going into some of my morning routine, I'm going to skip over some of the stuff you guys are probably all doing, which is looking at investing.com in the morning, getting the economic calendar, or seeking alpha and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to throw a little twist in. The first thing I love is having a list of podcasts. So the far left is actually all the podcasts I'm signed up to. We can make a list after the meeting and I can send it out to anyone who would like to see it. These are screenshots from yesterday morning. And as you can see, right off the bat in the middle of the screen, the new episodes, the first thing I'd probably check on if this is what popped up on my phone is the bottom morning brief. I like that Barron's numbers. It throws three subjects out there with the key number. For example, it'll say 84. 84 is the number of new members BlackBoxStocks has been having every week, so it's like 84 is the number one number they're talking about. So you'll get some good info. There's things like evolution. I'm not going to go into that. If I have time after hours, I will, but I think you get the idea. The other thing cool about this, at least on my device, is I play that at 1.6 times the speed. So that 2-minute thing, skit, I finish in, I don't know, at least half, quicker than half of it. And it's fast enough where I can get through it, slow enough where I can get all the content. Bottom right, I'm showing you. Again, it's similar to what I know a lot of you guys are doing, DD in the morning. I actually very recently this week, paid for Bloomberg. So not the terminal, but they're doing some other type of news service. And I'm not suggesting you do this. I'm going to try this as a trial to see what kind of data I get. I already could tell from this morning that 5 things to start your day email was already in some of the podcasts that they had. So maybe I may cancel the service. I don't know. I'll let you know. But the podcast is key. This is not an order. Now, podcast is audio, so that'll be in the background. And I'm going to actually jump to what I think is the number one go-getter for me. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was a failure to this. It is, and this is not a promotional item, it is the BlackBoxStocks newsfeed. That's the 3 screens in the middle I'm sharing there. Okay, ignore the top portion. We'll get to that. And from my background, I graduated from university with a management information systems degree. Back when I did it, it was more of a newer field. It's a mixture of business administration and business degree mixed with IT, with a lot of we're taking out the technical side. So we're basically data junkies, management information systems. So I just love having all the content on my desk, whether I go through it or not. That's my problem, right? But what I found through all that is I like for myself to have integrity at what I'm looking at. And I will be honest with you, I was very stubborn and I had my routine, which we'll go through, one of them being Barron's. Barron's is actually, and we'll get to that, is one of the only things I'll pay for outside of BlackBoxStocks. Their data and content is amazing. We'll get to that. I was very stubborn. I would not even look into the BlackBoxStocks newsfeed that often because I would just look at this and say, everything's green. I don't know what is content, what's quality? Well, what I found out is I spent some time over Christmas break and I was just baffled. Everything that actually comes into the feed is coming from the most reputable source, real time. And I'm telling you guys and gals, if you're not looking at the Black Box Stocks newsfeed, you must start doing it. I've already started generating revenue just by doing it because I can honestly, you want to have a work-life balance, right? I have a 3-year-old daughter. It got to a point last year where all I was doing was data, 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 data. But then during the day, you're still making your quota. So what did I do with 8 or 9 hours of extra data, but still making, let's say, the $500 quote or $1,000 quote? I lost time with my family. What I realized being in this news feed, it's all there. If I have 10 minutes on my sofa, I log in, and this is the screenshot from the phone, okay? Not the desktop. Same data, obviously, but in the phone, it's concise, it's in my face, and I'm trying to be mobile. That's going to be a little bit of this is I'm trying to show everything. If you're mobile, you're on the run, you got another job, and you got kids and things like that. You're scrolling through, and I highlighted a couple things. When I woke up yesterday morning, I didn't do any DD over the weekend. I spent all time with my family, which is rare. I love doing DD. I didn't. I woke up right away. I knew, whoa, Broadcom price target. Okay, it's legit. Now, when you're looking at this, you might say, oh yeah, I already knew all that. Trust me, if you're not spending time in this news feed, do it. Give your every morning. This is how I do it. Okay. Let's say I woke up this morning. I didn't do any DD since 7 p.m. Eastern yesterday. I log in to the news feed. I start scrolling from top down, get through till 7 p.m. yesterday. It actually sounds like a lot, but it's not. You start forming a nice formula to scroll through it, and I'm telling you, you are ready to roll in about 20 minutes. You know everything that you needed to know for your day. But mind you, you were absent last night. So it's not just you don't have to freak out. You come in here, it's all there. Quest Diagnostics downgrade, top right corner. I'm so glad I saw that because I remember last week I was starting to say, hey, maybe we're getting bullish in Quest Diagnostics. I see the downgrade to put a whole new sentiment into the morning and look at a few more things. I'm ready to go. I just cannot emphasize on how critical this has been. I'm actually saving money. I started canceling services, by the way, because this is integrity, it's quality, it's real time. It's perfect, it's concise, it's all there. You can click on it and get details. The middle top thing is something I've been researching now for 3 months. It's from the marketwatch.com app. And every day at the end of the day, I look at this. It gives me the decliners number and the advancers number. And you're kind of the advancers in the 4K range. That's the max I see. The decliners, I always see a range from 1,000 to 4,000. And I'm not going to explain too much because what I want you to do, if you're interested in this, I want you to start peeking at it at the close of every day. It gives you market breadth ideas. So we look at MOC. I love that. And then I look at market breadth. I love this. I'm good at visuals, being in the data management side of things historically. I'm very good at looking at things and remembering what they are and then seeing a quick trend. So yesterday, see, we closed at 2,000 decliners, 4,000 advancers, okay? If you close today and you go to 3,000 and 3,000, then tomorrow, be careful. We may have a sideways choppy or red day Wednesday. So I'm just take that for a grain of salt because, again, I'm studying this for 3 months every night, and that's what I'm seeing. That's how I'm interpreting it. Just sharing it because these are things I'm looking at. And just to quickly sum it up, there's no order, right? My high priority is the news feed. The podcasts are on in the morning. The same thing, the podcasts, some of them will happen in the evening. They're quick. A lot of them are informational. I know you guys love data, so that's the key to this. The next thing is I've mentioned I'm a big Barron's fan. So in the evenings, Barron's will send out a daily email. So I took 2 from last week, Thursday and Friday. On the far left is Friday. So the top 2 corners will show you the email example coming in. The top left, this is at the end of the day, Friday, talking about witching hour. I love it because being in options now, I'm learning about witching hour. The fact that Barron's is doing a segment on it lets me know that I'm trading with the right people in the black box room, talking the right content and the dialogue. The far right was Thursday, and this is great because we shared some of this information in the room. You guys were already probably making money on Ulta, but I think some of it did help the room because I know I got positive feedback on it. Point is, they were giving amazing information on Kylie Jenner's impact to the stock. And I know because Teresa was texting me, she's like, I can't get this lipstick. If you look at the top right corner, they have 28 lipstick products and they're all sold out. Poor Teresa, she's been trying to order it Now we know why. You know, her favorite lipstick, the Kylie products, sold out. Do you remember Ulta on Friday? It ran. It had a beautiful day. Barron's, if you are looking for something to pay for outside of black box stocks, honestly, this is a great thing. And I'm going to get into Barron's real quick because this is, again, my preparation for the morning. It's not just the morning, it starts the day before. So this would be the night before. I'm looking at the black box stocks feed, maybe some evening podcasts. These are just some of the unique things. I'm going to show you the Barron's. What I highly suggest if you're going to pay for it, you get the, I know we're in the digital world and I'm a digital junkie too, but you need to get the printed version also, same price, because there's something in the market known as the Barron's effect, okay? And what it is, what I've learned over many years, actually before I started trading, believe it or not, I've had mentors tell me to sign up to Barron's. I've had Barron's before I even was looking in the trading. I was maybe dumping money into my 401k and just some funds, you know, everything would grow type of thing. But Barron's lays out articles and items in a certain way where it helps you basically see the psychological impact of the ticker. So many times I know where the article's placed, and Monday and Tuesday, that ticker moves from anywhere 3 to 5 points. You can make money just off a Barron's article. But that's not the point of the story. Point of the story is me getting prepared for the day. I love their real-time analysis in the app. So again, if you're going to pay for Barron's, you get the newspaper print that comes every Saturday morning. You're ready for the week. The thing about them is they have, just like what we have at BlackBox. I know a lot of you guys love our traders and you love some of the niche they have and the data they can share. Same thing with Barron's. They have a few writers and analysts that have integrity. They've been in the game and they have connections. I'm going to give you a quick story. They were one of the ones, and I have these articles. I think at one point they recommended to buy CAT at 80. And then last year, in about end of January, there's an article telling you to sell that position. And I was furious. I'm like, what is Barron's talking about? On hindsight, Barron's is right. They nailed it. And they gave you content on why. Data. I love the data they do. So real-time analysis, that's just like anything else you're following, you know, on Wall Street Journal. Again, I'm trying to cover things you guys probably aren't looking at maybe. So Wall Street Journal, Seeking Alpha, investing.com. I know you're there. I know we're doing that. The far right is a little feature they have, which is new, I think, as of last year. It's called Barron's Next. Maybe 2 times a week, they put some really data-driven content about a ticker or two or something. And trust me, I've seen the room make money out of this or use it to their advantage. We share a lot of data. And I know I dialogue with a lot of you guys, and a lot of you over time have asked me, where do you get all this content from? So a lot of this is coming from BlackBoxStocks newsfeed and Barron's. The next thing is just normal stuff. I am new to this Forex Live website as of around, I think, November. I love it. I keep it up. I'm going to show you at my desktop when I share it. That's the far left there. It stays up always on the right side of my screen next to the Discord chat room that we're all in. And it just keeps pumping real-time news. You know, oh, oil rigs are here, this and that, commodities, foreign exchange numbers. And in this type of age where we're data-driven and so connected, and world economics being a big part of every type of index being driven, I think it's good to know when, hey, Europe closed and this is what happened. You know, we see that spike or drop at 11:30 in the morning and everything starts making relevance and sense to you. The 2 right screens are just normal things. We all have phones where we are scrolling to the left and you have a news feed. I'm on a Google product. I have Google Pixel. Does not mean you need that or not. Apple does the same thing. That's news from Monday morning. Yesterday morning, early in the morning, I got some WorldPay information we knew about, some Costco information. I segregated on my own. What I'm finding, because of the Black Box Stocks newsfeed, everything I'm learning is old to me now. Because the way I'm using Black Box Stocks newsfeed, getting into at least in the evening and the morning, at least those 2 times, I know what's going on by the time these news feeds and I see it on Bloomberg. It's amazing. I'm telling you, I would be paying. Even if I wasn't trading options, I would still pay BlackBox for the newsfeed itself. Let's get to the next screen, and this is just showing you my setup. Again, this is just a picture where I sit at the top left. If you remember, there's a screen to the right. The bottom right picture is actually the screen to the right. I keep you guys on Discord. In the middle, I'll have one of my accounts showing the PL open lines there. You see, that's all I need to know. I know what positions I'm in. That's our shared account. Probably looking at Apple when I snapped that, or I'm not sure what day I snapped it. And that's how I keep that Forex site live on the right side. And then top right, like I said, I keep Bloomberg on. And then getting a little technical, that's just my PowerPoint. Getting a little technical, obviously, one thing I do, and I forgot to take screenshots of this, is I'm a big fan of just one unique thing I do of many to stay prepared is I'm a big fan of the Fisher cross that we talk about. And I've noticed a lot of things. I'm not going to get into that because that's a technical conversation. But what I've run is 2 scans for Fisher cross on the upside on the daily and downside on the daily. And right now, this watch list is blank, and it's my mistake. I should have taken a screenshot to show this, but it's because the market's closed. But even before pre-market opened, you could still see the list from yesterday. So, for example, CME was on the list yesterday. So one of the things I do to stay prepared is in the morning, or basically starting at market close yesterday for the next day, I go through the list of Fisher ups and downs. Now, I've limited to tickers that are only $75 and above and that have $500,000 in volume and that are optionable. So I'm usually looking at a list of between 20 to 30. It sounds like a lot, but it's not, because you can take a quick peek at a chart and you'll be able to see if it's something to take a look at. For example, CME, I still have it up, is one I noted. I like this resistance we have at 172, and you notice that the Fisher cross occurred here. That's why I hit our alert, and on the Heikins we had our first screen. So that's some of the unique things I'm doing to get prepared.
And let's see. Additional data from phase 2 NASOVAC study. Will it do anything? I don't know. Decent volume. So it's already traded 4,419,000 shares. We want to hit volume ratio and just see what that is. That's already 0.94, almost its full day volume before the market opens. That's pretty good. This TYHT has already traded 9.5 times its 10-day average volume. CLRB has traded 3.2 times its average 10-day volume. So things like this we want to look at. We want to know, all right, alt already traded, 4 million shares. That's its average 10-day volume. Looks like 375 is your support-ish area. That was also the alert price, but if I had to draw a line across there, that would roughly be it. Everybody always asks, how do I turn off the pop-up boxes? Alert log, boom. I'm going to go ahead and hit all the pre-market scan just to look and see what's going on. TYHT, somebody's going to ask, why didn't you alert TYHT? Actually, we did. Let's see. What I want to know is how we alerted TYHT up over 65% without a retracement. That's a different ballgame. Yesterday we did have 2 retracement alerts. One killed it. That was the top gainer. Yesterday's top gainers was Dare. That was a retracement alert, 168%. The other one didn't do so hot. I think it was down 20%. But those are going to be light blue. You always want to check out the retracement alerts if you see one. CLRB, let's go ahead and check that out. It's up 42%. Go ahead and click some news here. Like the way it jumped, came down, filling that back up. Receives FDA exemption for important alert on CLR or something. Again, what's the volume on CLRB? It's already traded 3.3 times its average 10-day volume. We're going to keep an eye on that one, actually. And alt, off that list from today. WHD, we got I'll go ahead and call it a rapid decline alert is the technical name for it. And some of you always say, how come I don't see the rapid decline alerts? Hit account, my settings, enable advanced. That will give you these red alerts. So that's a rapid decline alert. Let's see why it's rapidly declined. Secondary, 36.25. So some secondaries will go up, some secondaries will go down. Options, excuse me, that I don't do. Puts, I don't really watch puts, so I'll go ahead and have that set up. So we'll be ready to rock that here in a second. We'll look for some consistency. We'll go over what the alert types mean. That's our Discord. I'm going to go ahead and load Apple. You guys know me and TekMuNNee swung some. Hey, Tech, you still with us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we swung a few of those. No, Dr. Rachel, I didn't make a PowerPoint. That's TekMuNNee. TekMuNNee is good at that stuff. I'm definitely not. Toss has a Fisher Transcan. Please share if so. Tech, that was for you.
Yes, I can help with that. Yep.
All right. So yeah, Michael, hook up with TekMuNNee. He can give you that. Yeah, so we will get you guys those scans. Tech's really good with that. Those Fishers. Not only Fishers, what's the other one that you did? And if you haven't seen the video TekMuNNee did last year, and it's got several thousand views on YouTube. We probably need to post that link. I don't know how to post it in the webinar. How do they find you on YouTube?
It's the scalping video we did on Heiken Ashes, another one on EMA trading. What I can do is I can add an extra slide to the PowerPoint I did and add those links.
Yeah. So anybody that wants that, send him a DM. He can shoot it to you.
Yeah, please send me a DM also on Discord, and I can directly work with you too. But don't worry, we'll get all this information to you today.
Kramer's pumping Nike. Let's go back over here to stocks for a second. We talk about the alert stream a lot. So the alert stream, if I'm watching my options, oh man, let's see something here real quick. There we go. Well, there we had it. So I quit fumbling with buttons. I like to watch the alert stream while I'm watching the options flow, because remember, I'm watching alts. I'm watching CLRB. So I know if they get over those amounts, I will get a little notification over here. So I can watch that, and I'll also see halts, because remember, I turned the alert log off. So I'm going to see big spikes or anything that's important to what I'm watching. I will see it here. We've never watched this pre-market before. A lot of people ask me what is required dollar volume met. It's some low notional that we put together on BlackBox. I won't put the number out there, but when it's Nike just hit a 52-week high. See, we just talked about Kramer talking about it. Boom, it just came across the alert stream. So the required dollar volume, if some stocks traded $2,000, I don't need to send an alert to you guys about it. That's not enough volume. So we're going to make sure that it's traded a minimum of X so it can get you information that matters. So it starts off with a very low. It's not a big number, but it's an okay number. That's just, required dollar volume met. So 52-week highs here. Nike just hit a couple. QAL, 52-week high. TMUS, 52-week high. Domo, another 52-week high. We had flow on that yesterday. So you'll see a lot of that stuff pre-market of, required dollar volume met. You can ignore that. If the required dollar volume isn't met, SE, that's had a ton of flow lately. I had some yesterday too. A couple of weeks ago, had big flow. So it's trading a little bit pre-market. That just tells me it's trading a little bit pre-market. No big deal. 52-week low right here. So you also get 52-week highs and lows. I forget where I was going with that a second ago, but anyway, I watch that alert stream constantly. I also go over there and check the main chat, see if anybody's got a question, but I'm watching that alert stream constantly. When the market fires off, I want to be able to see everything going on over there, as well as my options flow. So that's how I always get in it. Again, we click all these symbols, we hit news, see what the news was. And every time I record this, my screen does not like me. Anything on Apple, volume ratio. Obviously, Apple's not going to be on the volume ratio. It's traded 300,000 shares. It trades 20-something million a day. But this volume ratio is something that I want to keep my eyes on always. But for the most part, I run an alert stream and options. TekMuNNee, you got anything else you want to look at before the market opens? Upgrades, downgrades?
No, and quick comment. One thing I left out, one important thing I look at is I do look at that pre-market scan on the Black Box Stocks website. That's definitely something I do. I just knew you'd be covering it. And then inside Thinkorswim, if you click on the desktop platform, if you click on Market Watch tab and you go to quotes, I check basically analyst upgrades and downgrades there every day, and also the pre-market and pre-market activity there. So I'll add everything we talked about that people have questions on and the reference information. I'll add an extra slide to that PowerPoint, and we'll get it sent out. I'm getting DMs, so I'll definitely get in touch with everybody, and we'll tag everyone and get it out.
And the 10-day, Rachel's asking about the 10-day. That's just, if your average volume is 3 million a day and it's traded 9, it's going to be 3x. So whatever your average 10-day, just your average volume. Little spike on Apple going into the open here, which we want to see because, again, me and Tech swung a little bit of Apple. 190s for this week. I think at $1.20, I believe if memory serves me correctly. That's close to, I don't know, $1.10 yesterday. So we're watching that one. That's just our morning preparation. I go through every one of these symbols, see what was going on, pre-market scan, every one of the symbols. Maybe not every one of the down symbols because some of them are $2 stocks. It's down a quarter. I can't short it anyway, so I'm not going to. I don't really care about that news per se. So that's morning preparation. That's TekMuNNee. He's going to hang out with us here for a little bit. We're going to see if we can find some options flow. He looks at options flow the same way I do. Consistency, same strike and expiration, same strike and expiration. Hopefully we'll get a couple of alerts and we can talk about what those are. We're going to watch ALT and also CLRB only because it had decent volume ratio. The market's about to start. I'm going to go ahead and click on options.
That's exactly what I did.
So we can watch it.
Yep.
Yep. I like to see what the first above the ask that comes through is. It's just always intriguing to me. So far, somebody has played, and we're open. Somebody has found a play on every one of these webinars we've done so far. Blocks, 11K block, I'll watch, but it's those, when you start seeing those, hundreds of thousands of dollar blocks, $1 million blocks, I tend to ignore most of those. We go over that during we do pretty much daily a live flow class because we want you guys and gals to understand flow. We want it to be second nature. When you see all this coming through, right there, that could be confusing to most people that just sign on to BlackBox. A's, B's, what does all this mean in details? Listen, we go over that every day. If you have a question about flow, we're here for you. So we'll teach you what's bullish and bearish in that. So like right now, I'm looking at Microsoft. It came through at 59, then it came through at 60. The 60's got a B. But still watching those Microsoft 119s. A third one just came through. So we got 59 cents, 60 cents, and 58 cents. Why 119s? I don't know. We'll start watching that here shortly. There's another one just came through. It's a block. No bidder ask. 59 cents. So actually, I may want to click this. Anyway, so I can just see that coming through a lot of Microsofts. And I'm seeing 119s, same strike, same expiration. Back to that 4 or 5. Actually, those are 322s. Yeah, 322s. The 405s are the 115s, which we've been seeing forever. So, we just watch this flow. If those stocks hit new highs over there that we're watching, I'm going to see it. We'll just click over there real quick. See if anything else jumped in. When I'm recording, my black box runs extremely. It's not black box, it's the GoToWebinar. So Alt 382. Again, we're looking for consistency. Apple getting a little bit of spike. Let me just look and see where those are at. All right, we're green in those. We're green in Apple. Let's see. Actually, we had a $1.20s where we bought. We actually bought some more in the low 90s yesterday. TekMuNNee, if you see anything on the fish or anything else, jump in there.
Yep. I'll definitely. I'm keeping an eye out.
So right here, Apple 187.50 is expiring this week. 144K. One of those whites, but above the ask, right? So I want to click Apple. We're going to look for some consistency real quick. Probably just hit AMD. Yep, of course. Just do it this way. So right here, mainly you see 1B, right? So somebody hit the bid on one. Most of this is all A's. So this is all bullish Apple. Again, that's on the ask, above the ask. AA means above the ask. So 197.50s. We're looking for consistency through here. There's three 192.50s. Actually, those are moving in the right direction. Those are for this week. I hope they're right because we'll be looking sweet on our contracts if they are. Not enough consistency to get an alert. We'll go ahead and look at that Microsoft, only because I've seen some coming through. Nice. So the 119s, we got 5 of them all for this week on Microsoft. Those are coming through at 59, 60, 58, 59, 60. You're seeing a mixture of asks and bids. Contracts not really moving, so that's something I would go ahead and ignore for now. But I'm logging it in memory, right? All right, more Apple 192.50s. And that's for this week. That's for next week now. 35K. That's first 192.50s for this week. So now they're starting to hit next week. Just one small 35K. Apple's moving here. Apple's got an event Monday. We already know about that. We talk about it in the room all week. Something about live streaming. I don't remember what it is, but could run all week just for the hype of that. So again, we're sitting here waiting for consistency. So it's a constant stroll fest. Like I am just constantly strolling. I'm going to go ahead and hit market scan just because I want to know the biggest gainers out there. STNE did go ahead and hit that 43. Me and Mario talked about that this morning. I felt like 44 was about tops on it. I didn't see guidance. All I could find was the current quarter revenues. I didn't see guidance. I would have liked to have gave them better than that, but I just couldn't find it. 44 is about where I thought it would top out. I don't know if I'm right. We'll see. But this tells me all the top gainers. So I can instantly, like this alt, it's went down a little bit. CLRB is not doing anything. Volume's good, but they're not moving, so I can scratch those off the list. There's some yellow openers on VZ, Verizon. Next month, 57s. Bid side, though. Contracts going down instantly. We ignore it. More Apple, 192.50s for this week. I think I clicked Cron. Yep. Let's click those apples, those 192.50s that we were talking about early. As you can see, they're still hitting those. And damn, I'm getting the wrong. I keep hitting the wrong. No, I got it. All right. So there's 2 more of those 192.50s. Now they're 62, 62.8. So remember, they started down here, 54. That's a B, but 192.50s, 56, A, 57.9. Now we're seeing them 62.8. These are the ones that caught our attention right off the bat. Boom, there's another one, 63.3. I'm going to have to take some of those. It's probably going to get an alert anyway. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of those while we're here. 192.50s, 64 by 66. Let's get a fill. And we filled at 65 cents. Nothing big. There comes another one, 63.3. So we'll see. This is not something I'm going to hold long term. Decay, unless Apple starts really getting close to 190, decay, because it's a weekly and out of the money, that'll go down pretty quick. But it's something to scalp. These 192 50s that we've seen they were hitting early, they're still hitting. See if we got any alerts. No alerts.
So I just got out of a CSX swing from yesterday. We're in at $1.94, out at 224.
Nice job. Nice job. It's about 15%. We'll take that all day for a swing. All day for a swing. So what I like about those Apple 192 50s, ask, above ask, above ask. So these people aren't playing. Above ask is a market order. It's not coming through as a block that just touched one hand. We've shown you the diagram that Eric gave me last Friday of what a market order looks like and how many hands it touches before it fills. So when I see those AAs right there, that tells me just boom, this guy dumped 67K right here above the ask. This guy dumped 59K above the ask, or gal. He didn't care what it filled at. They wasn't trying to be stingy over a couple of pennies like Mr. McDaggins, who we love. Just kidding, McDaggins. But boom, they just wanted to fill, right? They just wanted to fill. That's what we want to see. So again, I'm watching my top gainers. Go hit chat, see if anybody's got any questions over there.
So real quick, while you're talking, I was noticing there's BHC. They're hitting a couple different strikes, but they're going out. So that's something that caught my eye. So now I'm gonna take a look at BHC, probably look into some news to see what's going on. And if there's nothing, then I ignore it.
Yeah, BHC, there we go. 113K ask side opener out to October. Out to October again.
Now, this NAV came in, Navistar. It's a 135K call sweep for October. If you remember last week, we were talking about Navistar in the room, and that's because one of the mornings it came up on a few of our Fisher scanners, so we started looking at it. And that's interesting now, about 2 days later, two to three trading days later, we're starting to see some size with sweeps coming in.
That is interesting. Yeah, I remember that NAV. I remember that discussion on NAV. That's a decent little sweep, too. Out to October. Right at the money, so they didn't go out of the money, just went right at the money. It gave herself plenty of time. They're going to get a couple of ERs out of that. Big pullback on Apple. Let's see. Just tell you how much. This is why I prefer to play some down $22 contract on that. I prefer to play usually in the money or right at the money because I don't have to worry about that decay. If I was in the money, this little drop wouldn't bother me. When you start playing out of the money, that little drop bothers you, right? That would be the first time we've had a loser on here. If it's a loser, we don't know. That would be the very first one. All right, let's see if we got any questions real quick. See, lots of those Microsofts were blocks, right? Yes. I ignore most of those. Dr. Rachel, I trade on my phone. I mean, I do not trade on the internet whatsoever. I mean, on the internet, on the computer whatsoever. It's too slow for me. And if the computer ever goes down, power gets cut off, anything like that, we're having a storm, boom, all of a sudden I can't get in and out of my positions. I trade always on my phone. It's so much faster for me. And I can walk around and, sometimes, y'all hear me go outside a lot. So that way my trade always goes with me wherever I go. If I need to go grab lunch, my trade goes with me. So I don't trade on the computer. I just don't. I can't. I don't guess I'd even know how. Actually, those are only down $16. Anything on Amazon? Let's go look. Mixed, 3 A's, 3 B's. Consistency, none. Right now, there's more than likely a flip right there. guy bought, see, 86 contracts at $15.95. All of a sudden, 96 contracts go out at $17.35 on the same strike and expiration. More than likely, that person flipped for $1.40. Even though there's 10 difference in the contract, these things count in milliseconds, right? So a trade may go through, and if there's any hesitation between the hands that it touches, it won't print with that trade. So any hesitation, that might show us two trades. More than likely, that's a flip. This guy made $30K off those contracts, more than likely. So it would have been this one that, you know, if there was any hesitation, you might not have seen the whole 96 bill. So I look at those flips constantly. You know, we talk about that a lot. Most sites don't show you people exiting. And I can't guarantee that's the same person, but odds are they took 30K and bounced. Just guessing. All right, PayPal. All that PayPal flow we had last week worked. Actually, the last couple weeks. Doesn't always feel good that day, but it always ended up working. See if we got any alerts. Let's go over the alert types real quick. Click this question mark. Actually, that doesn't have alert types. That's somewhere. Amazon, look into turtle here. So higher high, higher low. Let's see what it does here. There might be something there. Apple creeping back up. I know that because I'm watching it on my phone while I'm watching Amazon for Rachel. Apple really creeping back up. Come on, baby. So again, this is what we do pretty much all day. We're just sitting here watching this, looking for alerts. Of course, we're going to get notified on private Twitter. But to go over the alert types right quick, I'll go ahead and read those to you. You have several times. You got roulettes. A roulette alert is going to be a yellow opening order that expires this week. So if somebody comes through and buys 50 grand of Amazon on the ask or above the ask yellow this week, it's going to be a roulette alert. Roulette meaning, hey, that's a casino. It's short term. You know, you don't have a lot of opportunities for exits or time to win on the trade. It's very short term, meaning this week. Large bullish means it's over $1 million or more. Yellow sweep, ask side or above ask. That's large bullish. Steady bullish, that's a bunch of yellows that are met in a 60-minute window. Swift bullish, a bunch of yellows in a 5-minute window. The repeater alert, which we don't have the definition on here for yet, can be any colors. That's the one that can be the whites that we don't like to follow. It could be those whites, those purples, and yellows could be a combination of any of it. So it's the only alert that doesn't necessarily track opening interest. Amazon's starting to look a little interesting. You hear us talk about possum tails. You see how this thing is just curling there on the end, just when it's barely curled, that's a little possum tail. It's just got a little curl on the end of it, just like a possum. So it's not really a technical anything. That's just what we call it. Of course, you know what the turtle is when if it gets over this high day over here, right there, that would be the turtle line. You know, if turtle pokes its head through there or not. So that's what we're watching. See right here, Amazon. This is a nice sweep. Amazon they bought the 2000s. We know it exceeded open interest. This is most definitely a buy. Let's go ahead and click that. So somebody bought the 2000s for April 26th. More than likely that catches ER. I'll check. They bought 153 contracts above the ask, 112,000. Again, that above the ask. They wasn't worried about nickels and dimes and trying to fill it for, you know, instead of 730.03, they wasn't trying to fill it 725 or 720 and trying to save a nickel. They're like, here, take my 112 grand. Don't care where I fill. Above the ask, Amazon 2000s. Let's go. All right, so that's, you know, when it's yellow, we know it exceeded all OI. That can't be a flip. You know, that is opening interest. That just got exceeded. So that's what. All right. Let's see. Talk about that turtle. Right there's that turtle. It's going to go back to all flow, but all options. That Amazon's interesting there. So what am I doing right now? I'm looking for more Apple coming through and stuff. 200's out to May on the ask. Watching this turtle on Amazon.
Got some DWDP coming in, 57 calls for April yellows.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's probably going to, that will send an alert. 88, 91, 91, 92.
Yep.
Here, and you see where it ended above the ask, right? So this person, Twitter alert, and wait a minute. There it is. Okay. Data punt, the alert price 91, high 93, last 93. So that's your Dow DuPont flow that TekMuNNee saw. He knows what he's looking for. He knows the system's about to alert it itself. He's like, check out this Dow DuPont. Boom, here comes the alert. He's looking for consistency. Dow DuPont, we've got a odd history with. It's most flow that we've played, we can hit, 80+% on Dow DuPont's probably that 50-50. See a little double top on Amazon there. Dow DuPont, we've had a weird history with. Actually, the flow's done well on Dow DuPont. I forget what we was in for last year at one point. Somebody had some news they thought or something, I don't remember, that didn't work out. Dow DuPont, they're still buying it. So the 57s, just looking at that and how early it is and the size of the contracts, that's probably going to be a Nigerian alert on CNBC. I'm going to tell you at 8:49, 19 minutes into the market, more than likely the Nigerians talk about this Dow DuPont on CNBC. No, not everything we alert, but I can tell by the amount of contracts and the sizes and just watching them every day because they're legends. That's more than likely something that they'll talk about. All right, Apple, I need you to start turning back around there. That double top on Amazon, turtle needs to get through there. Dow DuPont, I'll probably pick up a couple of those just for shits and gigs. Not because we alerted it, just because I like the size of all this that came through myself. A couple of those are blocks. We talked about this in the options flow class. Sweep, 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 block. That's okay with me because I still know it's the same person. He threw in a market order. Where it ends up, it ends up. So what I don't like to see is just blocks by themselves with no sweeps from that buyer. Don't like to see that. So again, we alerted that at 91. It's now at $1. So they don't all work out like that. We know that. $1, it hit $2. So it's up 10%. So that's what watching the flow does. And more than likely, if that hits CNBC, it'll probably jump up, get a little bit more IV. While we're talking about IV, if you haven't signed up for the OIC class, that's Wednesday. It's about implied volatility. You need to be on it. The OIC, Options Industry Council. Tech, will you run through what the OIC means real quick?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The Options Industry Council. That's basically the source. That's the legit house of options. If you're in that career, in that field, and you're certified and stuff, you're part of that council. So it's coming from the source. That's the data coming from the source. You would want to be taught by them. It's a privilege to have them come in. So I think it's a privilege. So I think if you can, you should join.
Yeah, and implied volatility and what this means to you. We get asked a lot of questions about volatility every day. Since the market closes, actually 30 minutes after the market closes on Wednesday, the OIC will be teaching that class. You see Amazon, the turtle got his little head through and is headed to the beach. So that's where I like to buy Amazon is, again, right at, they say buy on support, sell on resistance. If it breaks through this resistance, that'll become support. I like to see Amazon go for the next leg. That's where I usually take a shot when the turtle starts, creeping through. Doesn't always work, but you got to have some reason right here. Higher highs, higher lows. Well, double top, higher high. You see, the chart pattern is in your favor at the moment. It's just all about setups in life. If you believe that the turtle's going to do this, you could do it earlier, obviously. But
and real quick on the
chart pattern I like to play. Go ahead,
yes.
buddy.
Speaking of chart patterns on the DWDP, so if you're in front of a chart, turn on a weekly on DWDP, zoom out a bit. I'm looking at from 2014, $54.50 was resistance in 2014, 2015, 2016. It broke out of it. Now we came back down, and we're literally bouncing off the $54.50 support. We're right now at 55.80.
How do I get back to your screen? Because I want them to see that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Let me see. If you click on attendees and then the staff tab, hold on. Let me see if I can take it. Let me turn on this weekly now. Just my thinkorswim actually gets very slow, especially when I'm sharing during real time. But this is a weekly chart. We're just gonna do a quick analysis. Notice on the far left, that's 2014, 2015, 2016. This 54.50 was your resistance. It could never break above it. It finally did in the middle of the screen. It hit your all-time high 77. Now, all of last year, we're on a downtrend. Now, this year, we're bouncing. I'm going to zoom in. This year, all this activity, and if you remember going back to the last two, three months, we're getting a lot of DWDP flow going out. But notice we're consolidating to that 54.50-ish. It says 54.61, but I would do 54.50 for a round. What I'm saying here is if you were to buy for a long-term play, great. Just then put an alert up for 54.50. If it breaks 54.50, obviously you don't want to be in it. But that flow might be a very good flow far out. And a couple things going on there. There's ER coming up too. But I just wanted to know, that's how I do it, man. If I see flow, I'll also take a look at where the chart is. And if I see a combination, then I feel safe, and I might even not even buy the exact flow. I might even go at the money and farther out so I can try to take advantage of this whole year. Just a thought, just saying. But that's how I'm doing it. I just want to share that.
I like that. I like that setup. I like what you're showing there. That's perfect. That's textbook support and resistance, guys and gals. That's textbook right there. That's why I want you to meet the mods too. You know me. I'm not going to look past a one-day chart. TekMuNNee looks back as far as he can get. So does Maria and Teresa, right? So this is exactly why we're doing meet the mods too. I love that setup, Tech. Love that setup. All right, let's go see if we got any questions.
Let's
Let me
see.
click that while TekMuNNee's got his screen up.
And I mean, I can try to share you. I don't know how well this will come through, but this is what I'm staring at. I'm staring at my grid, and I keep, let's see, 15 tickers up. I think I want to expand it to have maybe more, but on the far right, I keep up the Dow, the SP 500, and the Qs. I'm assuming it's hard for you guys to see, but that's the far three on the right. And I try to just keep a few up from a sector, and then I'll rotate a few in the middle. Like we were in CSX, and we're talking DWDP, and I was looking at CME this morning, so that's the second set to the far right there. And then I like to keep up Apple, Google. Amazon's not there, but I switched that with Biogen, so I keep an eye on bios because everyone's talking Amazon so much. I don't feel I even need to keep too much an eye on it. When I want to play it, I can just pop the chart up. And then I obviously have a few toggled up. Like we were in CSX, so I keep a screen ready on the 5 minute. I like to just have a 5 minute screen and get an idea of what's really going on time and sales and L2. I just feel like I get an idea of what's going on. So I'll keep these open and ready. Like I have there should be a blank one somewhere. No, there isn't. Well, there was a blank one, right? And it was NAV. So I just popped that up here. I'm gonna minimize this. And I was looking at this here, and I like what they did because a few days ago it bounced down to this 31 range, and now you're getting a first green on the hike in, and we're seeing strong flow out. So this could start gap filling over time. It's a $30 ticker, so it's going to take time. And that's why I like how they bought 33s at the money. Sorry for October, I'm scrolling all over. Sorry. But that's what I'm doing. When I'm looking at flow, I'm going right into the chart to see how I can take advantage of it for my insanity. I found for myself, for me to make money in a healthy way, because you can go and make 20, 30 grand to $200, $300 really fast, whatever's big for you, and get lucky and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But then at some point, there's got to be healthiness to it and consistency. So what I do is a lot of times to keep and I'm hyper and I get really emotional. So what I'll do is if they did NAV 33 for April, I would have went and bought NAV 33 for maybe June. I love how they did October. I'll follow that one because I can go multitask and look at 30 charts, and if there's a pullback, I'm not really that red. But when it starts moving, I'm still getting my, whatever I had calculated I want to get. So it's probably hard to see. I'm going to switch over back to this screen here. But notice what just happened on the hold on here now, let me move this out of the way. But notice on this screen, on the daily Fisher up, EA just popped. So this is what I'll do during the day. I like to see what's on that Fisher scan at the end of the day. I've gotten fooled a few times where I think Win was one. Win popped up Friday during the day. I got all excited because, again, my emotion, I was so hyper, pumped up. Probably thought I could flip over a car. That I thought that was going to drive the trade, which is totally foolish. So when popped up on the D Fisher upside, I buy, but through the afternoon it crossed to the downside. So technically, if I looked at the end of the day, I wouldn't be in it. But here's what I'm going to do. I see EA just popped up. Well, let me see what's going on. Just because it popped on the Fisher doesn't mean it's legit. I gotta still like it. So now I'm looking at this. I already have a long-term daily up going back to last year. I see there's this 86.70 range that we're fighting with, and I gotta do some homework on this chart right off the bat. I need to kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. I like drawing resistance and support lines just quickly at first at drops. Hold on, so I gotta change my indicator. So right now, just taking a quick look without doing chart on this, without doing homework on the EA chart, I'm not buying it off the Fisher alert. I can just tell by looking at charts. I need this to break like 100 to the upside. And the reason why I came up on the alert, I'm going to zoom in a bit, is because this green line on the Fisher actually formulated this upside here. So now technically the cross fulfilled, so it hit my scan. But you got to deal it. I don't like it, right? Just don't. $100 is a psychological number, even though I got a line at 102. 100 is a psychological number. I'm not going to play a ticker at $98, $90, $99 without a strong chart. Assuming, because I'm just going to assume 100 is resistance. Now, if we knew there was news and yada 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 yada, yeah, I'll get in here and anticipate the 100 break and play it. And then I'm going to
EA had good flow yesterday, and it's been having some flow. It's definitely want to keep your eye on, especially if it does cross that 100. I think they were buying the 102s.
It might be consolidating to do that, to just do exactly that.
Flip over to my screen real quick. Let's look at historical EA just for shits and gigs.
All right. Hold on 1 second. All right, should be on your end.
All right. Let's see here. EA, I just want to look at the historical real quick. I think that had flow yesterday, but I want to confirm. All bid side today, though. Look at this. All bid side negative flow. But yesterday, yeah, it was right here. It was the 98s for next week. Okay, so they were buying 98s for next week. And if you do the math on it, they're just expecting that to hit 100, a little over. So, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. And if you look at today, that's all bearish flow. Doesn't mean it won't work, guys and gals. These are bearish out to June. We talk about this a lot, and there's some April. We talk about this a lot that, you know, if something bearish comes out for October or June, it shouldn't affect your scalp for today, right? It doesn't mean you won't work out today or this week. They're out in time. They're playing something completely different than your scalp or your trade for today. Hit alerts, data punt, still the oh no, we got a couple of them, buddy. Boeing repeater bullish. Oh, and AMD repeater bullish tech. So we're gonna go look at AMD real quick. Under flow. Sorry. I want to see what AMD's flow did. And which one did they go with? They went with 25s for. Yep. And see, this is where the computer can keep up with what we can't. Right here, you see above the ask, April 25s, 41K, 15K on the ask. Keep cruising on up. 93 cents, sweet 28K, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Contracts moving. It's going to send an alert. Boeing. Let's go look at Boeing. Oh, wow. That data punt's cruising tech. Good catch, too, on that, the chart on that. And that's
the long term. Right. I think buying here long, you really don't have much risk because now you know that 54 range is that long term support now. Resistance became support.
So it looks like they're probably going after the 380s here for this week. So yeah, you see it $2.49, $2.50, $3, $3.15. What the alert price come in at? $3.50. Last one's $3.33. So yeah, that's the flow. Boeing looks like it may try to turtle here. And guys and gals, I am out of Apple. So lost 23 bucks a share contract. And that doesn't happen very often. That came back down and broke the 188, which kind of shocked me the way that opened, because everything else is moving around it today for sure.
Right.
So yeah, Dow DuPont, that's cruising. Tech, did you grab any of that Dow DuPont?
I didn't. I actually had the order screen up, and then I don't know what I started doing.
Yeah, that Dow DuPont, that will definitely be an Nigerian pickup too. So again, these alerts, not every one of them is going to work out like Dow DuPont, obviously. You can see AMD's up, Dow DuPont's up, BA's down. You know what I mean? So you have to do your homework. Tech just showed you how he does his. We loved the Dow DuPont flow. Ada gave herself a little bit of time, went at the money, didn't do anything crazy, and it was all yellows. So we knew it was opening transaction. Dow DuPont, that's textbook flow. I mean, that is textbook flow if you're a flow trader, which we happen to be.
Yeah,
look at this Dow DuPont.
Pretty well, Dow DuPont. Maybe this time more than the prior alerts too.
Yeah, look at that. And you see right here when it broke this little double top, the turtle went. See what happened here? Double top, higher lows, boom. Turtle poked his head through, made it to the beach. Not only the beach, but to the reef. So Dow DuPont, again, that's textbook flow. Let's see if there's any questions real quick. Now, Gordon Gecko, I just punted Apple. I got out of Apple at 40 from 63. Which is our only loss on these webinars so far. I think it's probably running pretty high ratio. Which part is the possum tail? The possum tail is just the end of that little, right here, at the end of the chart. That little curl right there, you see it just barely, that line right there is just barely starting to curl just a little bit. That's a little, what I talk about, the little possum tail. Let's go back to all options. Guys and gals, unless y'all got some questions, we'll let y'all get back to trading. We just wanted to show, again, different perspectives. See how the curl is getting a little better and more defined. Just a little curl on the tail. So it's just the end of the chart. Tell us any questions. Again, Teresa will be on here Thursday showing what she does, and then Maria will be on after that. We're just going to go on down the list. We'll look at the alerts one more time real quick. All right, AMD cruising, Dow DuPont cruising. I should have nailed that Dow DuPont for about 25 contracts.
Yeah, I should have.
Boeing's back to even now. Yeah. You see Dow DuPont is just really, really pushing. You got flow and you got the chart moving. So that's just a deadly combination. Extremely deadly combination. Again, it comes down to patience, 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 patience if you're going to do this. The right setups, the right flow, the right everything when it comes together. It's the difference between an F5 tornado that makes the news across the country versus a little thunderstorm that nobody hears about, right? Dow DuPont, that was an F5 setup. See if anybody's played anything over there.
I think in the main room.
Hit Apple for 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not playing some AMD and Dow DuPont because they love AMD and that Dow DuPont was just pretty flow. We'll go ahead and click on Amazon again real quick. See what that chart was doing. See this right here? Resistance, support, support, support. So if you didn't play the break, you buy on support. This is where you take your shot on Amazon. If you're wrong, you cut it. But you want to buy on those support levels or the breaks. So if you don't play that break, then you buy on support. Amazon, decent little flow today too. Wish I knew more about this one. Ask side or bid side. Tech, that's all I got. I appreciate you coming on here today.
No, thank you. And what I'll do is I'm going to finish up the PowerPoint, add some information you guys requested. We'll get that tagged out and sent to everyone. And then anyone who DMs me, I'll address that as well. So we'll definitely follow up with all the requests. So just give us the day and we'll get that out.